Hello and welcome to all of my beautiful, vibrant souls who have their Saturn in Gemini. So let me see. I want to talk to you a little bit about what this placement means, and then we're going to get into your reading. So Saturn is really the planet. Before I get started. Before I get started, I do want to kind of make note of the fact that this is a general reading for those of you with your Saturn in Gemini, but this is going to play out very differently and specifically for you based on your personal astrology as well as just your life journey in general. But for your personal astrology, so this is impacted by the house placement that it's in, as well as how it's aspected and just other areas of your chart. So keep that in mind. If you are interested in this reading for yourself, for your own personal astrology, you can check out my shop page. The link is in the description box. I don't currently offer this as like a standard fixture, reading, like consistent reading in my shop, but I'm happy to do custom orders. And if I get enough requests for this as a custom order, like comments on these videos that you'd like to see, you guys want to see these added to the shop permanently, I will of course add it. So there we go. That was the only thing I was going to say. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Okay. So Saturn is, I have cat fur in my mouth. Sorry. I have a Maine Coon tabby mix and his fur is all over my life forever. Saturn is really the planet that deals with restrictions, right? Saturn is not playing around. Saturn wants us to do things by the books, and the lessons that Saturn wants us to learn are often hard, right? Those restrictions are in place to help us overcome those restrictions, and thus in doing so, really mastering the lessons that are being brought to us through those restrictions. Saturn is also the Lord of Karma. So some of Saturn's lessons are just life lessons for us, and they are to help us get that discipline that we need. But some of Saturn's lessons are also karmic lessons that carry over from other lifetimes or other timelines. So I'm going to kind of leave that open-ended as to what it is based on the cards that come out. And again, this is very much impacted by your personal astrology. So I'm going to kind of like try to leave that a little bit open-ended. Saturn's also, like I said, all about timing. So this can have to do with timing related issues as well. So having Saturn in Gemini really talks about restrictions when it comes to the mind and communication. This can particularly have played out in your school settings, because Gemini rules the third house. So this is talking about your neighborhood, your schools, your childhood friends, your classrooms, things like that, just things in your immediate community and surroundings, as well as with your siblings as well. I forgot to mention that. Sorry if you guys can hear the geese going wild outside my window. They are having a party. But yeah, so this can kind of talk about restrictions in any of those areas. So you may have really struggled in school. You may have always struggled with, the communication between yourself and your siblings. Excuse me. You may have also really had a hard time figuring out what you think about things, because Gemini energy tends to be very quick-witted but also non-committal. So the opposite of that, right? The restriction of that might be somebody who struggles to communicate, somebody who takes a long time to think about things but contemplates them very, very deeply. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's benefits and drawbacks to both ways of being, but your Saturn restrictions in particular might make it so that and again, this can manifest in any number of ways. Perhaps there's if you've experienced a learning disability, so it's not that you don't think about things or you don't contemplate them, or you're not engaging in that intellectual discourse. You might just do it differently, or struggle to conceptualize things the way that it seems that your peers do, right? Things like that. And again, it's going to play out differently for each and every one of you. But that's the general kind of overarching theme of Saturn in Gemini. So let us start with, I've been pulling, where did it go? Where did it go, you guys? Oh, here it is. A Soul's Journey lesson card to kind of talk about what soul lessons your Saturn wants to bring to your attention at this time. Oof, excuse my burp. Oh my gosh, I ate so many apples for breakfast. Oh, you guys got a couple. Wow, everybody else has just gotten one. But You guys got 3, so let's see what we have here. Okay, we have courage. Can you guys see that? Yeah. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. That's beautiful. I love that. Oh, we have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Shoot. All right, I'm going to just scoot this little candle over a little bit. How's Candle's holding on for dear life? Poor little buddy. And we have, wow, change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Okay. So, hang on, I'm really trying to make these work for us here. What I feel like your Saturn wants to talk about is that there's change happening in your life right now. And I feel like there's something here where you either don't understand why things had to change, like you've been thinking about it a lot, but you can't seem to come to a conclusion. You might be really struggling to adapt to that change. You might be struggling to especially communicate about that change. So maybe this has this feeling of like the rug was pulled out from under you, or I kind of am getting this energy of like, just when I figured out how to do X, Y, Z, then it changed again and I don't know what I'm doing. Or like I feel insecure with this or something to that nature. But there's something where, another thing I'm kind of getting here is like, things have been changing in a situation, and I feel like with, you know, trust here, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Excuse me. Hang on one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I feel like intuitively something doesn't feel right to you, or like intuitively you have feelings about this change, but I feel like there's a fear of expressing this to other people involved. And you're trying to kind of, I feel like as a result, you've been getting this gut instinct, this intuitive knowing, and you're trying to understand it or rationalize it or justify it. When in reality, you know, your intuition is leading you correctly. It doesn't always make logical sense. But I feel like you're trying really hard to kind of put all the pieces together, and it just feels like things are either moving too fast or things are kind of like, it feels like the ground is kind of like moving beneath your feet, kind of an energy. And I feel like your Saturn is trying to advise you both to have courage with like courage and trust in the universe with all the changes that are happening, but to also have these things within yourself, right? And if you have something to say, to have courage and trust that you see the situation correctly and that you are justified in whatever it is you need to say. There's something here about communication where it's like, you know, you've got something to voice to another person or to somebody else involved in this situation. And I feel like there is timidity about doing that, because there's this energy of like, well, what if I miss something? What if I say the wrong thing? Especially if like you struggle to find the words sometimes that you, like the best words for what it is you want to say. And this person seems like they always like, this kind of feels like this involves somebody else who maybe they're Gemini dominant or something like that, or they've got like strong Mercury in their chart or something. But this feels like somebody who has a lot of, who's very quick on their feet in terms of communication. And I feel like just the way they communicate kind of like leaves you, again, it's that energy of like the ground is moving under your feet, right? Or like if you have the 3 cups and there's something underneath one of them and you move them around and you're like, find the thing. This kind of has that energy that they've got like a magician energy, and not like in a fun way. And this, for me, I'm feeling like this feels like this is something where there's like a project leader or like a boss, or in a friend group, somebody who kind of like calls the shots. It doesn't have to be that situation. This also could be like in your own family. Maybe one of your siblings is like this. But I am feeling that there's this like growing sense of like, of a need to say something. And there's this, you're being encouraged, part of your Saturn lessons here are to take time to think about, it is to take time to think about this, but it's also to trust that you are seeing things correctly at this point in time. I'm also feeling, to trust in your perception, because something that Gemini can kind of be prone to do in its shadow is change its mind a lot. And I feel like your Saturn is kind of like trying to put you in a situation where you really have to make a choice, and you have to trust your own, like trust your intuition, trust your own perception, trust your inner guidance. And this is a challenge for you. And I do feel like this, for many of you, this has to do with standing up to somebody who kind of either you're always in competition with, or who's kind of intimidating to you in some way, shape, or form, or you feel has power over you. Excuse me. Can you guys see that? It's in the frame. Cool. So let's pull some more cards and figure out what's going on here. Yep. Okay. You guys have pain. All right. Yeah, and at the bottom was the void. So I am feeling like this is, again, something where you're like not really sure what's going on. You feel like you're in the dark. But let me pull your other oracle card. Okay. Do I flip it? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Third house. Holy shit. Okay. Sorry. And I was really drawn into who or what is around you, as well as your ideas to a certain extent, but who or what is around you. We have the phone here as well, and a quill. So you might text this person a lot or communicate with this person over text, or the main person that you're dealing with might come off one way to you in person, but talk to you over social media or text in a very different way. So this would be like, you know, maybe somebody in the friend group who's like either really friendly to your face and then like kind of stir in the pot behind your back, or vice versa. They're like really nice to you over text. Or like, you know, maybe somebody who's like really nice to you in your DMs, but then in public is just kind of, I feel like whoever this is, they're like subtly undermining. I kind of get a weird feeling from this, but whatever this is, intuitively you know that this is not okay because it's causing you pain. Excuse me. But there is a fear of seeing the situation wrong, and like having the wrong idea, or like there's this fear of saying something about it. And I feel this feels like there's like a fear of repercussions. Let's see what this is. Okay, so I want to kind of ask, what is the fear here? What is this about? Because we already kind of covered sort of what it is. Okay, we have the Tower reversed, but I want to get more. Wow, we have the Chariot reversed. Oh, Jesus. Okay, these cards are just flying out. No, it's like this. Wow, and we have the Queen of Swords upright, or excuse me, reversed. So we have 3 reversals. This is very much like Uranus energy, and not in the fun way. I didn't mean it like that. I already regret everything. I mean this in the sense of like, you know, Uranus energy can also kind of be like the Fool card, right? Where you're just like, you're doing your own thing, you're marching the beat of your own drum, you're in alignment with the universe. But with the Tower, this is like sudden, shocking change. Now, excuse me, I'm taking a sip of my coffee. When the Tower is upright, this is something where you've been getting signs from the universe that something needs to change, because the Tower is always built up on an unstable foundation. And with mushrooms too, they really feed on detritus matter. So this is something to me where the situation has like died in some way. And there's something where there's old energy, and there's a lot that's been like feeding off of this old energy. And this is kind of confirmed by the fact that, you know, when the Tower is upright, you're getting signs, you're getting intuitive hints, you're getting that understanding that something needs to change in your life, because it's not really built up on a sturdy solid foundation. And when it's upright, this is like you've kind of ignored those hints, and you've just like not really wanted to do anything about it. This is why the universe has to do something about it. But when it's reversed, this suggests that you've gotten the message, and you've taken it seriously, and you're thinking about how to make changes. Excuse me. So what I feel like is happening here is that whatever's going on in this situation, whoever is involved, you've been kind of feeling this for a while. I feel like you personally have been going through some transformations and changes. And what I kind of am getting the sense is happening is that you coming into your power more, you trusting yourself and the universe more, you finding your courage to face change, and to face that personal transformation is kind of a little bit jarring and threatening to this person. Because I feel like this person, I'm going to be totally honest, and this might be just with you or in general, this person thrives off of other people being disempowered. The Chariot is really a card about victory, success, you know, your will being enacted, but it's because the Charioteer has mastered their shadow side, right? Mastered both their light and shadow, so they know themselves completely. They're not afraid of their shadow. They work with themselves, not against themselves. And as a result, they're very successful because they have faced everything within themselves, so of course they can face everything outside themselves. And we see this with the as above, so below image on the cedar tree here, right? Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like this person thrives off of, again, either just with you or with everybody, thrives off of people not knowing their shadow. Because we have the Queen of Swords reversed here. I feel like this is this person. The Queen of Swords, this is feminine. First of all, we have Cancer's energy with the Chariot, but this is feminine air energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, you guys. And I feel like, you know, the Queen of Swords, when she's upright, she's kind of an ice queen. She's very blunt. She's very direct with her words. I'm just making sure you guys can see that. Yeah, okay. She's very blunt, very direct with her words. She can be a little bit kind of like seemingly cold, but she toes the line, right? She's going to give it to you straight. She's going to tell it like it is. And her goal might never be to like be unkind, but she's not going to, you know, she's not going to mince words here. And so you know that when she tells you something, it's legit. She's very honest and a very straightforward communicator, very, very authentic communication. But she's reversed. And when the Queen of Swords is reversed, this can be somebody struggling with their boundaries or struggling to be direct. But this is also somebody who is kind of manipulative, I'm going to be honest. And you know, the thing about manipulation, this doesn't make it okay, but people often manipulate because they don't feel comfortable or competent asking to have their needs met head on, right? And so, you know, where the Queen of Swords upright might be like, hey, I need you to do this, or we're gonna, you know, this is gonna be a problem for us moving forward. The Queen of Swords reverse, when some people might find that a little bit too blunt, the Queen of Swords reverse is that kind of person, like, you know, she's, how do I describe it? And I'm only saying she just because it's the queen, but that doesn't have to apply to anyone's particular gender identity or expression. This can be any gender identity. Oh my God, sorry guys. Like, let's say, you know, in a relationship, the Queen of Swords upright might be like, you know, if the Queen of Swords upright might be like, hey, I feel like it's inappropriate for you to be talking so much to your ex. Can we make changes to that? Like, I need us to have some type of boundaries around this, right? And that might be a little bit direct for some people's style and a little uncomfortable. But the Queen of Swords reversed would handle this by like starting to talk to their ex a lot, right? Making it like, you know, known, or commenting on their posts really publicly, or like they would either subtly or not so subtly start like trying to get back at the, you know, their partner, right? Trying to elicit a jealousy response from their partner instead of just saying, hey, this made me uncomfortable. We need to kind of talk about this and figure out how to have good boundaries around this, right? And that's just a skill set to learn. Like, and I'm not excusing manipulative behavior, but I also don't want to vilify it. Like, we're not really taught societally how to ask for our emotional needs to be met. So I don't want to say that anybody who's ever tried an offhand strategy like that or an indirect strategy like that is a bad person. But the biggest thing I'm seeing with this individual is that this person really kind of like is a little bit manipulative, and I do feel like it's kind of toxic. I'm not saying they're a bad person. It's interesting too, we have a 7 and we have 16, which reduces to a 7. So this is a very, there's a big spiritual lesson here. But I do feel like you're dealing with somebody who can be kind of gossipy, who can triangulate a little bit, who can be kind of like indirect with trying to get their needs met. And I feel like this person has caused you a lot of pain. I feel like your relationship with them has had a lot of ups and downs. Because I feel like they're not confident enough in themselves to face their own shadows, so they play off of other people's shadows. But I feel like you've been doing that work, And the more you do that work, the more destabilizing it is to this situation or relationship. Excuse me. I'm kind of curious what will happen as, you know, whether this is like you trusting yourself and taking action that you're afraid to take, or speaking your truth that you're afraid to speak. However this resonates for you, I'm kind of curious to see what will be the outcome of you making the changes you need to make in this situation. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. Wow, we have the Nine of Wands upright. And, oh gosh. Wow, the Judgment card. Okay, so this is a really big deal. Excuse me. You know, I am going to just say this is the Wounded Warrior card. This is where you're really exhausted. You've really been through the ringer. And this is like the last push, right? And with the Ace of Swords, this is the breakthrough, the truth, the communication, the victory. I do feel like, you know, I'm going to give it to you straight here. I do feel like by heeding your inner voice and taking the actions, making the changes you need to make. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I do feel like it's going to put you in this Nine of Wands energy where you're going to feel tired, like you have to defend yourself, like you've already, you know, climbed so many emotional mountains in this situation and you're exhausted. And it might not, you know, with the Ace of Swords, it might not, in reverse, it like might not really yield you the answers you're looking for, the truth, the breakthrough that you're looking for with this person. I don't think that you coming forward and either speaking your truth or taking, you know, setting boundaries, taking the actions you need to take, I don't think that's going to like repair the situation with this person. I don't think that they're going to just like get it. They might, you know, but oh my God, I'm so sorry, you guys. So I was fine until I started doing your reading, and then my throat chakra's just been like pissed the whole time. So this really does feel like this is all centered around expressing your truth. And again, I want to be super real with you guys. This might not really make that much of a change, but we have this Judgment Awakening card here, right? First of all, Tulsi is really associated with improved respiratory health. So this might be something that can make you figuratively kind of like breathe easier. You might get more of a sense of like relief from doing this. But this is all about a huge turning point in your life. This is, you know, who you've been, what you've done, where you've been versus who you're becoming, where you're going to go, what you're going to do, right? This is really where you've done a life review and you've really been looking at what has got, and I see this here with the Tower reversed, you've been looking at your life honestly and really looking at like what has gotten you to where you are and what it is that you'd like out of the time that you have in your life. I feel like you've really been thinking about this from a higher perspective and a higher context. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. And with a little bit, oh, I thought this was a flame. It might be. But I was like, I feel like this has lit a fire in you. And the thing is, like, what this might do, facing this fear and taking the actions you need to take, is going to cause this awakening. It's going to cause a major turning point in your life. And I feel for the better. Yeah, I want to actually pull a card for this. What is this awakening or this turning point going to bring about in your life? Either bring about or like something it's going to draw to a close for you. Because the Judgment card is, you know, taking that turn, moving in that new direction in your life is almost always a positive direction because you're evolving spiritually. Okay, nice. Okay, so the Four of Swords reversed. Okay. Oof. All right, hang on. Let's see what we got here. I really want to dig into it for you. What is this going to cause, bring about, or solve? It's this one. I do want to look at this, though. Oh, the Six of Cups. Okay. Yeah, so this is probably somebody from childhood, someone from your past. The Nine of Cups at the bottom. I really feel like there is this desire for this to work out. Excuse me. Despite the pain that this relationship may have caused you. So you have the Four of Swords reversed. You have the Five of Swords upright. And then, nice, you have the Page of Swords. A lot of air energy here. So what is, making these changes, this awakening process, moving forward, what is this going to cause or bring about for you? The Five of Swords is exactly this energy. It's petty, competitive people who will lash out when they feel, emotionally triggered. people who want to win the discussion or the argument or the situation at all costs. And with the red thread here, you and this person, because there's 2 little bundles of sage, you and this person were tied together by destiny. You were fated to be in each other's lives. You have played a massive role in each other's lives, whether it feels like that or not. You've really forced a spiritual awakening within each other. But this has caused tension, and with white sage being the property associated here, and we have lavender as well, I do feel like this is going to cause a period of time where, again, there might be this like power struggle, there might be this back and forth, but it is ultimately a very cleansing experience, and I do feel like it's going to offer healing. I feel like any area where you've been stuck, especially with the little scythe here, you're going to be cutting out what disturbs your peace, and this is going to help you get unstuck. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. Whoa, are you guys okay? Because my throat chakra is mad. This is going to help you get unstuck and find a lot more peace in your life and move past this like difficult, petty energy. This has this energy of it's got to get worse before it gets better. So I do want to just be really honest with you guys about that. But ultimately it leads to this Page of Swords, and I love that. This is, you know, greater learning. This is like fresh new ideas. With the catnip being the property here, this is like you're really excited, you're really curious, you're really invigorated toward what life has to offer, and you're approaching life with a lot more curiosity, right? You're approaching life with a lot more of a playful attitude. You also might be getting the opportunity to talk with new people. The Page of Swords is usually like the little social media buff in the tarot. So if this is something that's unfolding online, you may be cultivating a new social media community, or like your social media presence may improve a lot for you. This is just saying that after you kind of like are cleansing this difficult energy, you're really having a lot more fun. You're a lot more like, you know, again, enthusiastic, excited, curious. Like life becomes a lot more interesting, and it's a lot more of a learning environment. You could also, like I said, have the opportunity to, if this is like work, for example, where your ideas are always getting brushed under the rug, you could have the opportunity to be sharing your ideas with other people that want to collaborate with you, that actually value what you're bringing to the table. Oh my God, sorry guys. So I want to pull you guys a couple of cards of advice. Do I flip it? Yeah, I flip it. That one I don't. I do want to take this one though. So let's see what you've got. So you have, your cards of advice are the, excuse me, the 7 of Cups reversed. Wow, the 8 of Cups upright. And the 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, that's really interesting. So we have 2 8s, first of all. But this is really saying your advice, trust your intuition. Your intuition is, also trust your emotions here, right? Because there has this feeling of like you feel this emotionally, but I feel like you're trying to justify it with logic, and this is tough because it's under here. But the Queen of Swords reversed, this is tough because this person tends to move in the shadows. This person's not very overt in their strategies, and I feel like this creates a lot of confusion for you. But with the 7 being reversed, you're seeing this clearly. Trust your intuition. Trust how this person makes you feel. If this person is draining your energy and making you feel bad about yourself, this person's putting you in this 5 of Swords energy where, you know, you always walk away feeling defeated. You feel like you never get the, you know, you never get to you have your say. It's interesting. I think there's Yarrow here as well, which is on the Ace of Swords in this deck. You have the truth. Your emotions are giving you the truth. And this is a card about walking away, albeit with a little bit of a heavy heart from something you've invested a lot in emotionally, but it's not serving you anymore, and it's only creating stagnancy and decay for you. And with the teapot imagery here, excuse me, with the teapot imagery here, I'm getting a couple things. One is that I feel like this has been brewing for a long time. I feel like this situation needs to let off steam, because we have steam in this card as well. There could be, you know, the tea, if you will. So there could be a lot of gossip, or this person might like to gossip a lot. I feel like walking away from this person is very difficult. I'm going to be honest, this person might be a tad narcissistic, because this has this energy of like somebody who wants to maintain their power, and they will triangulate and utilize other people in your social circle, your work circle, you know, in school, whatever it may be, to try to control the situation. But your team, you know, your Saturn really wants to bring you this insight that you're, you know, with the full moon here, this cycle has concluded itself. And this needs to be walked away from. And I very rarely give very direct advice. And obviously, please heed your own intuition and counsel above that of all others, including myself. But this situation needs to be walked away from. With the 8 of Wands reversed, this is about fast forward movement and communication. I feel like this is not going anywhere, and communicating with this person is not really doing anything for you anymore. It's really interesting because valerian is a root that's really utilized for, it's a sedative herb, so it's really utilized in like sleepy time tea. And so I feel like there's this need to walk away from this to gain peace. And with this being ginger, but it's in the reverse, ginger is a powerful anti-inflammatory. I feel like this person is very inflammatory for you, and this situation's very inflammatory for you, and there's this need to walk away from this because it's only causing you pain. You know, as much as possible. Sometimes we can't get away from people, but as much as possible, it's really necessary to disengage from this person and this situation. And I do feel like that will be a little challenging at first, but excuse me, it's really, I feel like intuitively you already know this, and this is really saying to trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust your feelings. If this person doesn't honor you, this person makes you feel bad, you have a lot of ups and downs with this person, trust that. If they can only be, what I'm kind of getting is, if they're only good to you half the time, they're only good to you when other people are watching, or they're only good to you when they need something from you, they're not good to you. They're not good for you. So the last card I'm going to pull is a card from the Blood and Honey Major Arcana deck. And this is a deck that I like to use to kind of look at archetypes. So this is the sort of archetypal energy your Saturn is suggesting you embody to help get you through these challenges. Oh, it's this one. Okay, wow, Judgment's at the bottom. Yeah, this is a huge turning point. And look, we have what looks like a family. So, yeah, this might be family that you're dealing with. Yeah. Oh my gosh, and you have the Magician, Gemini energy. So this is Mercury that rules the Magician. So this could be a Gemini or a Virgo. But, you know, we were just talking about this, like Magician in a bad way. So I feel like you're being encouraged to be the Magician in a good way. The energy you need to embody is to really seize your power, right? You know, you're the one who's making the music. You're the one who's the creator here. And your own happiness and empowerment is within your grasp, right? You have all the tools you need. You have everything. You have all the power. You have you know, the support from spirit, and especially with this being card 1, to start this new beginning for yourself. You have everything you need, right? Trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust what you know to be true, and to take action toward what it is that brings you that sense of security, that makes you feel good about yourself, makes you feel empowered, and to be moving away from anything that is not that, essentially. So I think that's just about everything I have. I hope this has been helpful. Yeah. And like I said, if you're looking for this reading for yourself, please DM me. My shop link is in the description box down below. I'm wishing you guys all the luck in the world, all the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye.